Want to make a few adjustments. Make a few adjustments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be before you today. It is my hope that this message will cause a change in the minds of those who are participating in what I'm about to share. I can't make you do anything. I have no power to do such thing. We live in a time where we need to hear the truth. We need to be exposed to the truth. And we need to recognize, we need to recognize things all around us. It's not about sex or race. It's about the truth. What I'm going to do is reveal a certain behavior that's being uh, exhibited among the young black male. And I've seen a few white males doing the same thing, but in mostly the black male, young and old. And I want to share my thoughts, thoughts from others, thought from other individuals, male and female, male who are participating in this behavior, and some female who do not like this behavior. If we are living in a world where individual must recognize things all around them and begin to speak up. If we do not speak up about the things we are looking at, then who is going to speak up for us? I often wonder, back in the days of slavery, the abuse that the slave endured, the tears that they shed, the hope and the dreams of being delivered, the loved one being torn from them, women being raped, getting pregnant by their master, slave owners. So much abuse, they had no one to rescue them. They died off, and we today are living, our ancestors are living through us. Yes, our ancestors are living through us. We can always point the finger at another race and say they made me do this and they made me do that, but that is not the truth. We choose to do the things that we do. I can't make you do anything. You can hear what I'm saying. You can enjoy what you're hearing, and you can apply it to your life. Or you can share this video with others who are partaking in what I'm about to share. I don't hear the mainstream mega churches talking about it. I'm not saying they have not, but I have not heard or seen on television. Even if it was talked about in such a degree, people will be talking about it. But we probably talk about it among ourselves. We may look upon this behavior and distaste and don't like it. And yet those who are partaking in it, some of them are aware of the history and some don't care. So I decided, I spoke about this in a recent message last year, but I want to be more specific in bringing this to light so other people can hear. Again, I want you to listen to what I'm going to say with an open mind. It's not about pointing the finger or saying black race is this or that. I know from my experience being a black male, when you speak the truth, I have been called an Oreo, or Uncle Tom, a white person lover, denying my race, but that is not true. I'm not the only one out there, I hope I'm not, that care about the young black and older males that are exhibiting behaviors out there draw attention to them, and it doesn't look good. And then the other races of people, male and female, would think we all do these things, but we're not. We are told to go to school, to get education, get a college degree, to do the best that we can do with our life. Some of us choose to do that, get in a position of authority over our own race, and we'll call a sellout, or a white person lover, or whatever term they decide to use at that given time. We, as a race of people, need to hear the truth from our own people. We should not be afraid to say how we feel. We should not be afraid, excuse me, to express how we feel. We don't have to be a part of the group thinking. All of us, we may be black on the outside, but we all think differently. Some have doctorate, PhDs, master, associate degrees behind their name. But does that make the person? In a way, it does. They're more educated than you and I. But basic common sense. We should not be swayed from our thinking with the group thought that's going on out there on the street. Movie stars, Hollywood stars, musicians, they set a pattern. They plant the seed in the minds of young black males. I read an article the other day saying we are, let me see, 1% or 2% of young males would make it to the NBA. Then why are we pushing for them to excel to be into sports? Doesn't make sense. If 2 or 1% only make it, then what about the 99 or 98 out there? Some individuals want to be a rapper because they see the fame, the bling bling, the money, the women, scantily clad women, and males wearing their pants down. Even older men on TV wearing their pants down. All blacks do not agree with that behavior. But do we hear on the news or in the TV shows that say otherwise? No. So I want to call your attention to a little bit of history. We know that sagging pants, we are told that it began in the prison system. I did not know, I thought it did, because I once worked in a maximum security prison. And I saw young men, older and young, they would wear two pants, two trousers. One would be below their waist, and the other one would just cover them up. And they'll walk through the prison. Then I learned that those who do that are saying to other inmates that they are ready, they're willing to engage in sexual relationship with them. And yes, that goes on behind the prison wall. It's not talked about, but it does go on. You can have an individual behind walls that's married and have a girlfriend that's participating in that behavior, and he goes out on visitation day, and if he can touch the woman or kiss the woman or whatever they do when they go visit, depending on what prison you are, they don't know that their loved one is partaking in that behavior. And I've seen that behavior, and I've seen them go out and meet their loved one. So the history did not come from the prison. The history came from slavery days. Yes, the hidden tears of the past. And I was putting this together, and I said to myself, let me see you say, did the following people, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Truman, MLK, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Sojourner Truth, and many others, did they die? Did they shed their tears to see our young men out there walking with their pants below their waist? I'm quite sure they did not. And I can hear people saying, well, I have rights. Yes, we have rights. We have rights, but we don't have the right to run a stop sign or run the red light because the consequences will follow. I am I'm not the only one that are against seeing black males walking with their pants down. I had several opportunities to talk to some young men, and I asked them, "May I ask you a question?" "Sure." "Why are you wearing your pants down?" I asked. "Well, I'm representing." "Representing what?" "I'm a part of this thing." And when I repeat what they share with me, they look at me with just amazement, like, "What? What are you representing by wearing your trousers below your waist?" I would say I have seen individuals with their pants so low below their waist, they might walk, take the pants off, and walk around in the underwears. I saw one young man walking with his pants below his waist, below his general area, and his rear end, and he's holding it up, his pants, with both hands, and walking straddled like. Not a normal walk. If he continue to walk that way when he get older, he's not going to walk normal because we are not designed to walk left, right without moving our hip. It's going to cause problems for that young person. So as I thought about this message, it brought to mind that someone sent me something on Facebook, and it said, sagging pants did not come from the prison. It started back in slavery days. So I did my research, did my homework, which all of us should do our homework. It is called, it did not begin in slavery time. It is called breaking the buck, a form of punishment, beaten in front of the slave congregation, forced to stand on a tree stump with his breeches pants completely removed to expose his rear end. He would be sodomized by the master and his guests. After that, the slave would be forced to wear his trousers sagging as a testimony that he was broken. Are these young men telling the observers that they have been broken by a slave owner or slave master? Or have they been broken by their friends? That's what they're saying. And then the young man who I asked, is he, when he wears trousers like that, and someone get out of prison and see him wearing his pants like that, and that individual approach him thinking that he want to be sodomized or had been sodomized and he's ready for another individual, what would he do? He said, man, I will fight that person. I will beat them up. I said, why go through all of that? Why dress in that behavior, given an indication that you are part of that? I've even asked females, do they know the history of wearing the pants below their waist? And I'm told, yes, I know. And I don't like seeing our young men wearing their pants below their waist. If all females who are dating in the sound of my voice, or who know someone, and you see them dating someone who wear their pants below their waist, and they're walking, I've seen them walking out in the public, in the mall, in the shopping centers, and walking down the street as I'm driving, and I shake my head because it bothers me when I see that. We can be bothered by things that we see, and we may say we can't make a difference. But I'm quite sure that back in slavery days, those individuals I mentioned made a difference. They saw a need, and they was willing to put their life on the line to make a difference. I'm quite sure many nights they cried and wanted a change, wanted the abuse to stop. We who are living today, because of what they went through, we are living and experiencing freedom that they did not and never lived to experience. So sagging, if you spell it backward, is Niggin, Niggs. You know what it means. You know the word. We can call it N word. So are these individuals are behaving as sagging in their behaviors, or have they been deceived? Are they telling you and I this, that they are sagging? Who cannot think and ask why should they participate in this form of dressing? To those who are representing, you are telling us that you have been seduced in your minds. You have allowed someone to convince you that there's nothing wrong with sagging. Oh, really? Look in the mirror of self. Look in the mirror of self. If you don't agree, then you are standing daily on the top of your self imposed tree stump to be sodomized in your mind. It won't be long that you will be convinced to wear a dress. You laugh, do your homework. You see, a lot of individuals in the movie industry have taken on roles wearing dress. You never thought, we never thought in my lifetime, I never thought in my lifetime that I would see individuals wearing their pants below their waist to such an extreme that make you, why don't you pull up your pants? But as I mentioned, I had the opportunity to share that with a young man, and he agreed, and he knew the history. And after talking to him, I seen him a few times, and he would see me when he didn't see me. He would pull up his pants as I approached him. When he walked away, he dropped them, but he had respect enough to pull them up. And then I was speaking to him before and say, "Yes, I saw you the other day with your pants below your waist." He looked at me and smiled. And that was the spin of it. I had no power to make him pull up his trousers. Furthermore, I have seen some females wearing their pants below their waist. They are not exempt from slavery, and I'm quite sure a lot of black females were raped, given birth by their slave master, slave owner, and even the guests that participated in it. I cannot make you do anything. Wearing your pants below your waist is your choice. Someone who is near you or close to you or a relative, the pants below the waist, they've been exposed. You have been exposed to the history of having why, where did it come from, and how it started. To continue in this behavior, express your mindset. You say, yeah, that's me, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. You've heard, you hear, you would be traumatized. Have you been traumatized from your own self sodomizing, standing and walking on your own tree stumps of behavior for all to see in the public square? Let me say it again. Have you been traumatized from your own self sodomizing? Have you been traumatized from your own self sodomizing, standing on and walking on your own tree stump behaviors for all to see in the public square? If the female father, parents, pastor would tell the truth about sagging, maybe some individual would not expose their thinking of thoughts for all to see. Females should tell their boyfriend, their husband, I care about you, I want to go out with you, but I cannot continue to be with you if you wear your pants. A lot of men will listen. If they see that a lot of females begin to stand up to this behavior, they'll begin to pull up their pants. I saw several Facebook videos where a man went around in New York and passed out suits to individuals who did not own a suit, that they may have a suit to go get a job. If you had been a part of going for an interview and you had your pants below your waist and you did not get the job, you know why. I have even gone in restaurants and seen people behind the counter serving my food with their pants below their waist. And the manager, either they're afraid of them or they're probably doing it themselves, But guess what? It's still wrong because everybody do not like to see someone underwears when they go out to dinner. Are the individuals saying that they have been bucked, broken in? Are they saying that? And there's another thing that's going on is the flip-flops. Yes, in prison, they give you flip-flops and you walk around prison with socks on, flip-flopping. You see that today on the college campuses, in the malls, the shopping centers, on the street, that young men, older and young, walking out in the public with flip-flops on, socks on, or maybe no socks on, with their pants below their waist, in the stores, in the shopping centers, going about their merry way. To them, they're representing, to them, they're cool. And I'm quite sure they hang out with other individuals who do not dress that way. So that individual hanging out with them, associate themselves with them, may have their trousers pulled up. And that's good. But as long as they continue to hang with their friends, if their mind is weak, they're going to begin to wear their trousers below their waist. I have seen a lot of young men and females and males exhibiting the wearing the pants below their waist and the flip flops. I wonder, will it change? What is going to happen to cause them to change? I know that this message will not be received by some. Some will not like me exposing this or sharing this, but it's the truth. If we can put videos out there of dancing and rapping, if we can put the videos out there of information about slavery, about what happened to ancestors, people in the past, that's all well and good. But give me all of the information to allow me to make my own choice. If we can put the videos out there to warn, to educate anyone who wants to listen, then why should I not do videos to address the issue that I see in the black community or in the black race? I see very little videos about individual male or female expressing what they see in the neighborhood. Very few videos on that subject. But I see a lot of booty shaking, twerking, exposing the female, exposing their rear ends, breasts, and all that kind of stuff to get likes, to get whatever. If you know someone that is sagging right now, share what you've learned. Share what you heard to them. Allow them to hear. It's not about condemning or judging. We are so quick. So you judging me. I'm not judging you. If we are living in a time where people are doing what's right in their own eyes, it doesn't make it right. Quit sagging, young men. Don't allow yourself to be sodomized by others who plant the seed that it's okay, that it's normal, because it won't be long. You may laugh that you may be wearing a dress out in public. Don't allow any ungodly thoughts to penetrate your womb of a mind, to plant an ungodly seed that will produce an ungodly behavior. Don't allow, I say that again, don't allow anyone to sodomize your mind by planting an ungodly seed that will cause you to accept it, agree with it, justify it, it's okay, and then go about your merry way and say, it's normal. Begin to change. You are responsible for your behavior. You are responsible for your behavior. If you like what you heard, share with others individuals. Allow them to be woke up. Allow them to open their eyes and open their ears. Because we live in a time such as this, that we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I close by saying this. I took myself out to dinner yesterday. As I sat in the restaurant in the chair, I saw black females was pregnant with. She was pregnant. It was obvious. It was like she about to go any moment, give birth. And a strange feeling come over me. It's like I could see that baby upside down with the head, the arm close to the side, the feet tucked in, ready to come into a world. And the doctor always tell a woman, watch what you eat, watch what you drink, don't smoke, because the baby can partake in what you put in your mouth. And then I thought about it, that baby is living in a certain world, a watery world, can hear the sounds all around the mother. A day will come that baby will be born and come out into a world and will have to be taught by the mother, even the father. I just saw a guy with the young lady. They will teach that child how to walk, how to talk, the do's and don'ts, the right and wrong. Hopefully they'll teach them the godly things. They will love them, they'll care for them, they'll feed them, they'll dress them. They do all the thing a mother and father should do. But that child will be brought into the world from a watery world to a world that they must learn about. We too must recognize that our mindset, we must move from our self-imposed world of sagging pants and whatever behavior that we know is not beneficial for us. And begin to be taught, to begin to deny self what we think and accept the truth about self, self-assessment, self-evaluation. And admit we have a problem and we have a choice and we will suffer the consequences. So that child will be born into the world, and I'm quite sure, I'm hopefully, as sagging pants is still going on in the time of the child becoming a teenager, or maybe then it may be men wearing dress. Before you and I commit to any kind of behavior, a lot of individuals receive the seed from TVs and movies and from their friends. And they allow that seed to be planted within them, whether they're aware of it or not. Your mind is a womb. Your mind is a womb. W-O-M, womb. You must understand that when we allow ourselves a seed to be planted in our womb, W-O-M-B, when we allow us ungodly seeds to be planted within us, it will grow if we don't uproot it, kill it, chop it up, strip it up, do whatever to keep it from growing in us. Those individuals who are sagging today at the sound of my voice had experienced some form. They may not have been in prison. They may not experience any jail time or prison time or incarceration, but they allow themselves to be incarcerated within their mind. And they begin to wear flip-flops and socks or without socks, wearing their pants below their waist as though they have been in prison. Wake up, brothers and sisters, to the truth. Your behavior and all of our behavior, good or bad, prevents us from going on further with a career, especially if we want some people to help us. You may have friends and family members that want to tell you the truth, but they're afraid to lose you as a son or a daughter for a little while. You may resent them telling you. You may say, who are you to tell me I can dress where I want? That's true. But there's consequences of everything that we do. So I thank everyone that will watch this video. Share it with other family members and friends. Allow them the opportunity to hear what you heard. You have no power to make them do anything, but I'm giving you the truth. Do your own homework. Always ask why. Why? Why? Save us a lot of problems. Lord willing, I'll be back next Thursday, same time, 8 to 8:30. I had to do this broadcast on a Wednesday because I'm filling in someone for work at work. So thank you. Thank you.